What's a simple thing someone can do to better their life? Compliment people behind their backs. It seriously reduces the drama you have to deal with in your day-to-day life. Especially do it to coworkers. Sufficient sleep and hobbies. So just make sleep your hobby then. This is how my depression tricks me. SLPT, be depressed to get more sleep. Have achievable short-term goals, and reward yourself appropriately when you achieve them. Whenever I complete a task on my list, I allow myself 10 minutes on Reddit. Makes the day go faster. Funny, it is the exact reverse for me. I allow myself 10 minutes of work for every 8 hours of Reddit. Days won't go by fast though. Days drag and years fly by. This is so accurate it hurts. Do more stuff. Make the days fly and the years will drag. Show up on time. People feel that their time is respected if you do, and you keep adding to your accountability and credibility bank. The habits that have made life less stressful for me sound boring and lame. #X200B, eat real food. Get sleep. Be on time. Look decent. Be polite. Do what you say you're going to do. #X200B, but boy do they make a difference. I spent my 20s and 30s fighting against these things, believing they'd make me boring. Well, they have, but I'm happier. These are things we should be teaching our kids. They shouldn't have to figure this stuff out in their 20s, 30s, 40s. I'm trying my hardest to instill these virtues in my daughter because, as much as I love my parents, they let us do what we want with little to no discipline when I was growing up, and it made life harder as an adult. This stuff doesn't make you boring. It makes you an adult. There are too many children in their 20s, 30s, and 40s these days that never had to grow up. You don't even need a lot of rules to teach your children these things. 95% of what make a good, healthy person boils down to: 1. Respect other people too. Respect yourself if you can empathize with others, or at least commit to treating them as though they are deserving of consideration and decency, and if you can treat yourself the same way, you're golden. Drink more water. Open some blinds, my dude, and let some sun shine in your house in the mornings. It always made happy. Exercise. It really helps if you're dedicated and consistent with it. Edit. Thanks for my first silver, stranger. Create a budget. There are so many free tools available online that it really is simple. Take a few minutes each day to monitor your spending, saving, and you'll thank yourself later. Edit. Since people are asking, I use Mint. You can set up a budget, categorize your transactions, set up alerts for when you go over, and easily track spending. There's also a premium version, but I don't know what that includes. Accurate. So many of my friends, late 20s, have no clue what is happening in their finances. They consider if they end the month within their bank account, so they didn't use credit, they were financially responsible. Which is the first step, but they don't seem to realize they could be doing more. When you start tracking your expenses, you realize where money is going, whether you like it going there, and you can start tracking and saving and work towards bigger goals. Personally, I loved reading Your Money or Your Life. It's a little old, last chapter of investment advice may not be as relevant, but a lot of the consciousness it brings to your spending is still applicable. I always use this threads to motivate myself. And then do nothing. Because most of the things people suggest are either not that simple after all, too vague, or already too obvious. #X200B, like, we all know sleep and exercise is good for you. If I'm not doing these things already, then there's a good chance there's a reason why that isn't just a simple fix. Be more honest, but don't be a douchebag about it. This is a concept that escapes so many people. It is entirely possible to be honest without being an asshole. Oftentimes it's literally just reordering your words. It's so true. Your project has gone to shit, and you should trash the whole thing and start over, and I know it's hard to hear, but I think your best bet at this point is to just trash the whole thing and start over. Or even, it might be easier for you to start over and use pieces you know work from the old one. There are a million ways to rephrase so you don't sound like a total ass. Lol. Yeah, for real. I am the son of a pastor, so it might come easier to me than others though. I had an instance where a new coworker who was young and inexperienced did a terrible job on a task, And when I was asked about it, I paused and said I think he needs a better understanding of what our expectations are for him here, to which my boss said, "Oh wow, I've never heard someone say he did a shitty job so kindly before." Ha ha ha, that's great. And when someone does a shitty job, it either comes from laziness, ignorance, or misunderstanding. Very rarely does it come from malice. And in those cases, it's usually extremely clear. Consciously try to make someone else's day better. It will almost always make you feel better too. Declutter your living space. It's not exactly easy the first time, but when you get rid of the things you don't ever use, minus a collection, it really clears your head. This made a huge difference for me. I always hated tidying up and cleaning, because it involved moving so much stuff around. After decluttering, I had more clear surfaces. Quick and easy cleaning, and I find less decorations visually calming. Imagine every item made a tiny noise. What do you hear? Can you hear the voice of the things you really like, the memories they share, and the promises of future events? Or a cacophony of the shrill voices of random things everywhere? Imagine every item made a tiny noise. Looks around, shudders. Remind yourself of the good things you have. Even if it's something as simple as a roof over your head, the bed you sleep in, or the phone you use to browse Reddit with. Also, acknowledge positive things about yourself. Whether it be your hair, your style of clothing, or something you accomplished when you were younger. It sounds cheesy, but for those of us who focus more on the negative aspects of life, it does help to remind yourself that there are hidden gems in there too, and it's important to take notice of them. Ada, if you are struggling with something, it's perfectly okay to acknowledge your pain, anger, sadness, etc., and allow yourself time to work through it. Reminding yourself of the positives is just to keep you from getting completely bogged down in the negativity. You need to throw out all the garbage from your head, understand what makes you unhappy, and try to change it. Yeah, but it's my head making me unhappy. Ducking head. Don't ignore their mental health. It is everything. Edith Ollie shit. I have been on Reddit for almost 10 years, and this is my highest rated comment ever. It was more like I wish I told myself that earlier in life. Thanks for the gold, kind strangers. Edit 2, thanks for the platinum. Wow. Be willing to give genuine apologies when you are wrong.
No excuses, no justifications, just, I screwed up by doing X, I see now that it affected you this way.
I should have done Y. I'm sorry. This shows that you have thought about it from their perspective, care how they feel, and want to do better by them. Apologies that start with justifications or excuses often feel hollow to the recipient. Reading a book. Try at least one new thing every week. It's all fun and games until week 362 when you get pegged. But I already get pegged. In that case, you'll be spending week 362 making Queen memorabilia to sell on Etsy. What if you get pegged by the Queen memorabilia? Top 10 mysteries science still can't explain. Don't hold on to anger. Leave the house 10-20 minutes earlier than originally planned. Stop drinking. When sleep is concerned, ours aren't everything. So, proper, good quality sleep pattern is a great improvement. An exercise routine and as much movement as one can pack in a day, as in running or walking or cycling. Reducing added sugar intake. I'm putting this instead of simply eating healthy, because eating healthy can be expensive and hard, at times. Reducing added sugar intake alone would be great for your health, and it is just as easy as not eating junk food with lots of sugar in them or stop drinking soda. And not buying something is much easier than not consuming something once it is in your kitchen. Delete Facebook. Hit the lawyer. And gym up. Meditate. Do not accept to levitate and be able to resist fire after it. It really helps you to calm down. You're not really selling it. Levitating and resisting fire are surefire ways to get people to meditate. Hey, there is one guy that uses it to resist extreme cold. Save your money. I was paying off a loan $100 a month, and once I finished paying it, I just got that same amount to go straight to savings now. Getting up earlier than needed before work, so one has about an hour of me time to do whatever you want to do before the rest of the world wakes up.